Are grieving for Breasia Terrell. Davenport police announced today the human remains found last week are the missing 10-year-old. And new tonight, KCCI's Laura Terrell spoke with community organizers who've been involved in this nearly 9-month-long search.
Breasia Terrell's disappearance last July profoundly impacted many, including community organizers here in Des Moines. On Friday, they plan to hold a vigil here at Union Park so that everyone can mourn together.
We've received confirmation that the remains are those of Breasia Terrell.
A tearful Davenport police chief delivered the news Wednesday. Breasia Terrell's case went from a missing child to a homicide.
Very heartbreaking and very devastating.
Al Womble is part of a group of Des Moines community leaders who drove to Davenport this summer to help search for the missing 10-year-old.
I don't know if anybody can actually use the word closure when we're talking about this because there's still an investigation into her death that needs to happen.
Breasia was last seen on July 9th. She spent the night with her half-brother and his father, Henry Dinkins. Dinkins has been called a person of interest and is currently in jail on unrelated sex offender registry charges.
When we are able to share details on this investigation, we will.
A fisherman discovered Breasia's body last week in DeWitt, about 30 miles from Davenport. Dinkins has not been charged in her death, but police say the investigation is ongoing.
We've been in contact with her mom throughout this entire process.
Des Moines Reverend Rob Johnson also helped with the search and talks with Breasia's mom daily. He's now calling for compassion and justice.
For the family, for Breasia, and for all the babies that are missing, justice has to be served. This was a beautiful young child. I want them to think about her grace and about her beauty and about kind of the light that she brought into the world to other people who knew her.
In Des Moines, Laura Terrell, KCCI 8 News.
Now sits at the Clinton County pond where investigators found Breasia's remains, and News 8's Jillian Mann talked with neighbors who are trying to process a tragedy that is quite literally too close to home. She continues our coverage on News 8 at 6.
Tucked beside Highway 61, in a grove of trees, sits a small pond in a rural Clinton County neighborhood.
I will say that usually it's a pretty calm neighborhood, so any type of police presence is news in the country.
Last Tuesday, this neighborhood was anything but calm when investigators recovered the body of 10-year-old Breasia Terrell from that small pond down the street from Bridget Bowman's home.
Our neighborhood is just we're very tight-knit. It's just rare that something would take place like that we wouldn't just have a clue about, that she was there this whole time and we just didn't know it.
Do you mind if I give you a flyer by chance? I'm looking for my daughter. It's a discovery that took 9 months of flyers and posters across the Quad Cities and coordinated police searches in this very area along Highway 61.
The whole community feels it, even if it's not one of your own, you can identify with that so deeply.
Now the search is over and a community mourns.
We will continue to pray for them, and we will continue to think about her probably every day for the next months and years, just because it's just a tragedy.
In Clinton County, Jillian Mayen, WQAD News 8.
And neighbors say there has been a steady stream of people who are stopping by at that location to pay their respects at the memorial.
Week away from the trial for the man accused of kidnapping and killing Breasia Terrell. Tonight, Local 4 News brings you an exclusive sit-down interview with the suspect's sister. Nita McQuaid never backed down from supporting Henry Dinkins the past 3 years. She says he didn't kill anyone. Local 4's Linda Cook has tonight's top story.
I know that my brother is innocent. The sister of a man accused of a terrible crime maintains his innocence. 50-year-old Henry Dinkins faces charges of murder and kidnapping in the death of 10-year-old Breasia Terrell in 2020. Days before his trial is set to begin in Cedar Rapids, his sister, Nita McQuaid, spoke exclusively to Local 4 News. I don't believe that my brother would commit such a crime like that. I feel that only God knows,
and the parties that were there.
McQuay speaks with her brother, who is incarcerated, about 5 days per week. Meanwhile, she and the rest of her family have struggled for about 3 years, ever since the day in July 2020 when Breasia disappeared.
I have my good days and bad days. But long as I can talk to my brother and talk to my family, I'm just fine. It has been hard.
Her faith has helped get her through the bad days.
I believe in God. I believe in faith. I also believe in what's right.
Meanwhile, she misses her brother, her only sibling.
Me and my brother always been close. We did everything together. Henry's always been an awesome brother. Always been there for me. I've always been there for him. We're like two peas in a pod.
The case is so familiar to Scott County residents that a change of venue for the trial was made to Lynn County. McQuay asked people not to judge Dinkins until all the facts are in.
Don't judge until facts are proven. No one's guilty until proven. Henry is not this monster that they portrayed him to be. He's not that. We all make mistakes in our life, and we all have done good, bad, and ugly.
This is Linda Cook, Local 4 News.
Dinkins' trial begins next Tuesday in Lynn County. More than 100 witnesses could testify. That trial expected to go on for weeks.
The man accused of killing Breasia Terrell.
Scott County prosecutors want the court to admit evidence they say could point to a motive. Evidence prosecutors say shows Dinkins searched for child pornography around the time the girl disappeared. That is tonight's top story.
The 50-year-old is charged with first-degree murder and kidnapping. More than 100 witnesses are on the list to testify in his trial next month in Lynn County. Court records indicate the evidence prosecutors want to introduce say Breasia and her brother spent the night at Henry Dinkins' apartment July 9th of 2020, and that Dinkins' girlfriend at the time said there was no sign of Dinkins or Breasia Terrell very early the next morning.
Court documents indicate the girlfriend says Dinkins came home after sunrise without the girl. Breasia's brother told officers he and his father went to Walmart to buy Clorox. Investigators say Dinkins' phone pinged at a Walmart in Clinton early on July 10th. Court records also say the evidence prosecutors want admitted is that Dinkins searched pornographic websites for material involving the sexual abuse of young black girls in the 10 days before Breasia Terrell disappeared. Henry Dinkins and his family maintain his innocence. We go into much greater detail about the story online at our Quad Cities.
Please no, it's not so